Hello and welcome. I'm Uday Pratap Singh. You're joining us on this special interview on NewsX. We're in conversation today with actor and producer Neetu Chandra. Neetu, welcome. Thank you very much for being with us on NewsX.
Thank you so much, Uday.
And it is special because today, of course, as I introduced you, actor and producer,
Yeah.
often we speak to you for your acting assignments, but today we're speaking for you in the role of a producer. Your film, of course, Chhat, is all set to release
Right.
just before this Chhat Puja 2025 on Waves OTT. What's the feeling like? Did you time it such that it releases at a big occasion? Many people like releasing their films on on Diwali, on Eid. Did you time it such for Chhat Puja?
Honestly, yes. Because Chhat is very important to us, and Bihar is all about Chhat, and Chhat is all about Bihar. The feelings are there, the memories are there, and the first video we ever made was Pehle Pehel with Shada Sinha ji, and that was viral. Everybody loved it. I know a lot of transformations happened, especially globally, where people were looking at doing Chhat after watching our video, and that was the kind of impact we created. And now I was very, very proud of the fact that I could, my brother Nitin Chandra, who is a national award winning director as well, for the same film where I got the national award as a producer. Mm, I mean, he writes things which are so touching, and literally a PhD in filmmaking.
Yes.
Uh, he wrote the story, came to me, and he said, I want to make a film called Chhat.
Okay.
And the moment he said that, I was literally like, just do it. And it just happened that the script came in February to us. But Nitin always writes scripts 2-3 years in advance, and he keeps working on the drafts and drafts and drafts. And couple of until you have like 15-20 drafts of one script, and it's crossed like 2-3 years, he will not. He literally sleeps with the script.
Okay.
And this script came out, and I was like, oh my god, this is such a beautiful script, and it has to be timed around a Chhat.
Yes.
And it just, we were looking at releasing in first week of October, but then census were the problem, and it just happened that universe manipulated, and it is releasing right like a day before the Chhat.
Yes.
It's on the 24th of October
Yes.
on Waves OTT platform, and nothing could be better because you have Kailash Kher singing in
Yeah.
Bhojpuri, you have Sunidhi Chauhan, Alka Yagnik
Yes.
ji, and she is Sharda Sinha ji singing.
Yes.
Her voice is there.
Okay.
So it was right on time, impeccably, beautifully kept right for all of you.
Okay. Well, it is festive season already. So, what are your plans for Diwali this year and Chhat Puja? Have you thought of how you'll be celebrating as yet? What do you normally do with the family?
Well, Diwali this time is in Patna. And after years, the whole entire family is going, and we are really looking forward. When we were little kids, हम लोग कुलिया चुकिया खेलते थे, and then we used to play patake, of course, and diyas, and sarson ke tel ke diye hote the. And now things have changed a lot because it's become organic candles and things like that. But I personally feel that this time the entire family is going to be there, and I really wish we can make those gharondes and stuff. And this is what the plan is, to have. Breakfast at Choti Chachi's house and lunch at Choti Mummy's house, and then go to different houses and have different kinds of food and cuisine, and
Okay.
it's very exciting. And Diwali all over the marketplace is crazy, and
It is.
we are looking at a lot of shoppings there and stuff.
Okay, lovely. Now, talking, of course, about films, your latest outing in Hollywood has now finally released on Amazon Prime.
Right.
Tell us how that makes you feel, and the kind of fresh wave of feedback you must be getting.
Yeah.
Normally one feedback comes when the release happens, then of course when the OTT release happens. So, what kind of messages are you getting? How does that make you feel?
Well, first of all, thank you so much, everybody, whoever has accepted me in an action avatar, because this is Sony Studios' Never Back Down Revolt, and I play
Yes.
one of the main leads among two girls. It's released on Amazon Prime in India, and people. I think I'm a cutout. Actor and why I say this, since my childhood I have been training myself into martial arts. I'm a black belt 4 dan in Taekwondo and represented our country 3 times. What could be better as an actor to be launched in an action franchise.
Yes.
That is such a blessing. And people who know and who follow Never Back Down franchise, they know that this movie is something else, and being an Indian actor, being there
Yeah.
is literally a big deal.
It's huge. Absolutely.
And now people have also seen the action in it, and I'll tell you, I got to do my own action in the movie.
Oh, wow.
So one feedback which was beautiful and it was overwhelming for me was from my producer David Zalon, and he told me. So we were shooting in London, and one of these fights, and there was an arena which was, it was a set. I was shooting, and then he said, after the cut, my director Kelly Madison, we started rolling, but she would not say cut. And then when you not say cut, then you can't stop. Then
Yes.
you're doing your own fight, and you're just moving and just fighting and all. And then Kelly was like, she didn't say cut, and I'm looking at Kelly behind the camera saying, "Come on, say cut." And then later Kelly's like, she said, "Okay, cut." And then David and then I got the whole audience, and they stood up, had a standing ovation. And I'm not very good at taking so much appreciation because, and then there was a pillar right there, and I stood right behind it, and I was like, "Kaise ye liya jaye?"
Yeah.
I started breathing, and then my producer, David Zalon, he comes to me and he said, "Neetu, I'm so proud of myself
Yeah.
that I cast you in this role. Nobody absolutely could play Jaya
Amazing.
than you in the entire world." That kind of feedback from a producer is breathtaking for an actor, justifying your character, and the producer has cast you. I mean, David was the first person to approach me to give me that movie, and then Kelly, the director, came later. But this was a great thing. And then when people from India come to me and say that, there are very few actors, female actors who've gone to Hollywood and played one of the lead roles.
Yeah.
And come back, if you can name 3, 4, you are one of them.
Yeah.
I'm very, very thankful. I'm very proud that I could make each and every second and inch of it standing there with the entire team.
No, that's a big moment. But one would wonder then, that if they could think of you in this action avatar, why didn't anyone in India as yet, any Indian producer think of you?
You should
Is-
not look towards me and ask. You should look there and ask this
Yes,
question.
yes.
I would just say that there are very few action movies which are made in India. And certainly I feel that the stories are written around people already, and then they are made also. You would not see a script written and then people are casting them. They, for example, any of these movies, and very few actually, but they always think, okay, this actor, female actor, has to do it. So the stories are also literally roped around and wrapped around that female actor, and then it's made. So I don't think I'm that female actor to be wrapped and roped around, but I'm good at my work, which is
Yes.
what I told my producer first time, and he said, "What is it that makes you different and have the X factor? We are doing an action movie." I said, "You just need me to be in the movie because I'm very good at what I do."
Okay.
And that is martial arts, action, taekwondo, and I've represented my country 3 times.
How did this connect with sport come about? Because you're also, of course, the basketball ambassador, and you have this black belt that you're telling us, of course, and you've been a taekwondo national champion as well.
Correct.
How did this connect with sport happen, and for you growing up?
The credit is to my mother entirely. I'm one of the faces when NBA came to India of basketball when it initially started. But my mother, and I'll tell you, no kid can do anything without their parents. Not at all. Absolutely not. My mother pushed me into martial arts, saying that, it's a very good game. You should try and all. And then when I started playing, she would have this huge, big smile on her face. And then I started winning inter-house championships and all of it. And then I saw that consistent smile on my mother's face, and my mother was married very, very early in her life. So just to get that consistent smile, I kept working very hard,
Okay.
and that became district champion and state champion, national champion, and it was very soulful to play because I was also doing Kathak. So, any kind of art, martial arts or a theater art or a Kathak artist, all of us, all the arts is very rhythmic and musical.
Yes.
Even martial arts is it's just a beautiful rhythm to the whole body, and the air, the wind which passes your ears gives that soothing feeling of being a sports person. And I'm sure every sports person will feel that, that when that sweating and that hard work put in there, that sports thing, it gets onto you. It is actually inculcated in me. And that's why I always say, when from childhood you play at a higher level of any sport,
Yes.
when you take any career, pursue any career in the future, you will always excel. Always, because that discipline, never giving up attitude, the responsibility, the leadership, team, everything comes from.
So it holds you in good stead.
Yes,
Okay.
totally.
You were just talking about how there was no such film written for you so far in the Indian film industry. Do you believe that also maybe because you're an outsider, has it been harder for you in the Indian film industry? Of course, now you're a producer yourself, so you're making films that you believe in. But
Right.
was that hard for you initially, the fact that you were an outsider for the industry?
So, see, I don't believe in hammering on the uh, same names and everything, but absolutely, that is true. As an outsider, you will not get anything on the platter. मैंने तो तिनका तिनका जोड़ के अपने platters बनाए. And I also feel that if somebody is born somewhere, it's not the person's fault. And any engineer will want their kids to be engineers, doctors to be their doctors, or a superstar to be the kids to be a superstar. So I am never against anybody, but I'm just in my favor. I realized very early in my life, when I opened the production house, that I have to be the catalyst of my own stories. And if you don't do that, and if you don't if you don't have options, then you better make that as an opportunity. So I started producing my stories, and here I've done produced 7 movies. Now
Amazing.
my next would be producing 2 Hindi films
Okay.
after this, and I think. Yeah, I mean, if my next generation, I would want them to be in films too.
Okay.
But they should do what they want to do. It's not necessary that if you are a superstar's kid, you have to push and pressurize yourself and take the place of somebody who might be deserving and do a better job. And then you spoil the character, the film doesn't do well, and that character is never written again as well. So there is where it goes little wrong. But apart from that, I think, Hindi cinema has given me an identity. And I would always be thankful for that.
Okay. Well, more power to you, and let's hope that identity, of course, keeps growing. You're going from strength to strength, so let's hope that continues. Thank you so much for joining us, Neetu. on Research
Pleasure's
Today.
all mine. Thank you so much, Uday.